Hello there, people. How are you? I hope you're well. Before we start the whole podcast, I've been talking to our one viewer, and he's actually given us a bit of an advertising thing. It's anyone else that's listening to this that is fancying some high quality Botox, then I recommend you go down to Big Al's Big Ass Botox Barn. Yes, he has the best bassy Botox in the land. And
is it just bassy or is it just me?
No, you're right, Dan. It is rather bassy. Yes, it is. And don't cry. It is good. I know you use it.
No, I don't.
You said you did. I've got the paper here. So tell you what, Dan. I'll let you do the whole catchphrase. Pass that to you.
Thank you.
And so here at Big Al's Big Ass Bassy Botox Barn, all we want you to know is
shut those big fat lips.
Yeah, good. So let's just get on with the show then. All right, that's all the money for me.
And hello, welcome to Fandom Vlogs, Splash Page, the weekly genre show where we cover what's going on in the world of comics, movies, TV shows, and games. I'm your host, Ewan Patterson, and over there is Sam taking a picture of his knee, and then to my right, directly next to me, is Dan the Man Boyle, who currently seems to be booting up, ready for an item later on in the film.
And there we go. I'm online. Hello.
That's going to be fun to edit.
Okay, so are we all ready? Are we all happy?
Yeah.
How are you recovering from last week, Sam, after Dan shot
After
you?
you shot me.
Well, you deserved it.
I was trying to... Yeah, you get into character too much.
Well, we all know Dan is method. Let's get on with it. Marvel's first attempt to do a female-led superhero has found its directors. Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, who directed the acclaimed Mississippi Grind, will direct the Captain Marvel movie starring The Room's... Not The Room, I mean Room's, Brie Larson. Sam, has this got you excited for Captain Marvel, which is due out in 2 years' time?
2 years' time. And so, you said two names. What were they?
Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. So they're a directing duo.
Duo?
Yeah.
That is... the only last time I remember that kind of thing happening was Wazowski's. I can't remember anything.
What about Captain
Russo
America?
Brothers.
Yeah,
Russo Brothers, of course.
Don't forget there's also the Coens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't forget those two.
But the thing is, brothers, that's the key thing.
Well,
brothers,
siblings.
Yeah.
Siblings.
Originally brothers, but siblings. They're all... Oh, I'm muting. Oh, that's too much feedback. Yeah. They're all siblings. This is the first time a big product in my head, a big blockbuster product's been a cooperative in...
There's probably been one, we just can't remember it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm looking forward to it. They seem to have done good product. I've not seen any of their work, being honest. But
Mississippi Grind was about gambling. It was all right. It had Ryan Reynolds in it.
But why does the first Marvel female product need two directors? That's my question. There must be a good reason.
Maybe they're just the right people to do it in Marvel's eyes.
Like Kevin Feige did like an interview a while back. He says he doesn't care about who the person is as long as they tell good storytelling.
Yeah. On the plus side, one thing that like the Russo brothers have shown is two people can actually put more focus on a Marvel product. Because if I'm looking at patterns, Joss Whedon got really stressed out with the system by the time he got to the end of Age of Ultron, and that's why he's kind of steered away from them. But because there's two Russo brothers, they can kind of juggle the system between them, and they've got more of a stronger stance because of a better product. I'm not saying Whedon's stuff was terrible. I'm just saying it's if we could clone Joss Whedon and make him do two things.
Have an army of Joss Whedon.
Yeah, that'd be. And so I'm looking forward to this. I think I want to see material so I can make a good opinion.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, Brie Larson is actually doing a lot of her own homework. She's going back and reading the comic books, and she's falling in love with the character.
Have we still... Who's cast as Marvel? We don't know.
Brie Larson.
Brie
That's
Larson.
her name.
Is cast as
Captain Marvel.
cool.
Wait, she's in
X-Men, is it?
no Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island.
She's like the latest King Kong movie. She's the girl in that.
Cool.
She won an Oscar for her portrayal in Room.
Okay.
Which is just, if you ever get a chance to watch that, it's so messed up.
Which version of Miss Marvel do you think they're going to go with?
Like the
Miss
one,
Marvel.
Like
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
they're gonna go.
Now I want to see a Marvel's version of Miss Marple. No, I just want to see a dottery old woman
You
going
just know
around
that at the end of it,
kicking
she'll
ass.
have like Thanos, Doctor Doom, and the Green Goblin all lined up. And I called you here today because you all did it.
Yeah, she'll just invite them in for tea and tell them which one of them's the murderer. I really want to see this now. Can we make
Yeah,
this
and then
a thing?
Captain America is the bumbling investigator.
Oh,
Doesn't know
yeah.
what
No,
he's doing.
he'll be the police officer that doesn't really know his job properly, so he has to ask an old woman how to do
Yeah.
What would Miss Marvel's superpowers be?
it. Deduction.
Deduction. She'd be an older English version of Batman.
Hold on. Isn't that just the chimp in Detective
Yes.
Chimp? That's
Yes.
Miss Marple.
I think we got slightly sidetracked.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
But I think, going back to your original question, I think it's the one that they did when... Which Marvel reboot are we at right now? Not the last reboot, the reboot before that. When she stopped being Miss Marvel and she became Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
That's like going about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's Civil War, kind of, when they...
No, even before Civil War.
Oh.
It was after the first Civil War, but before Civil War 2. I think it goes back... I think it's when they did Marvel Now.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So it just kind of... I know a recent iteration is a kind of slightly X-Men-y, mutant-y, like Muslim girl. If I haven't read that line,
Kamala Khan.
Who's
like she's an Inhuman.
She's a pretty awesome character from what I've read.
She's a massive comic book nerd. But let's move on.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 has been released this week, and the critics' reviews are in, and it is ranging from a unanimous meh to it's good, but just not as good as the first one.
What's what I'd expect from critics?
The film currently sits at around 87 on Rotten Tomatoes. Dan, you enjoyed the first one. What is this a sign of people getting bored of the Marvel model, or
I also want to just point out Ewan's pronunciation of the word tomatoes.
tomatoes?
Tomatoes. That was incredible. But personally, I've been actually quite bored of the Marvel universe since post Avengers.
Okay.
I just think all the movies are very samey. They all follow the same formula. They blend into one for me. So Guardians of the Galaxy was my favourite in that regard because it was so different from the others, even though it did follow the same formula. But personally, I've been quite bored of the MCU for a while, and maybe this is the start of people going down the same road. Maybe this is people starting to wake up and going, oh no, maybe they're all just the same movie, just told with different stars.
I would say put it in context too. Guardians of the Galaxy is, if you bottle it down, a comedy. Regardless of any flavouring or theming, it's a comedy. So you have to compare it to other comedies. That's the lens you have to look at it through.
Yeah.
So a sequel comedy that's good is fantastic because every sequel comedy that's come out in the past 10 years is terrible.
Well, not all of them.
Right, name a sequel comedy that's not terrible.
I didn't hate Horrible Bosses 2. To be honest with you, I know that's a bad example, but I didn't hate it.
Anchorman 2 wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
It was terrible though. There was so many
I'll
scenes
give you Anchorman 2 was crap.
I mean, I went in thinking, oh my god, what am I watching? What am I going to be watching? And then I came out going, well, I didn't want to kill myself.
Yeah.
People argue that Ted 2 was better than Ted 1.
See, I haven't watched Ted 2.
I think I agree with that. I think Ted 2 was better.
But I think
So a comedy sequel that's at 89%.
87.
87.
But most of the thing is with Rotten Tomatoes. I'm really self-conscious about this.
Good.
The whole thing.
It's an aggregator, so it rounds up the score.
Yeah.
You actually look at their scores. They're doing it at about 3.5, 3, 2.5, and it's just go, okay. Well, the average score here is meh. Let's round it up to that.
Cool.
So don't read too much into that.
Yeah.
I think the real test is when we see it next week and we have
Yeah.
a couple of different opinions chucking across the desk.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's just going to be a nice breath of fresh air. All you have to do is remember how dark Logan was and then walk into the cinema.
Yeah. I'll try to remember that.
Stab.
On Monday, we got our first look at Kingsmen the Golden Circle, which sets...
Just stabbed me.
Well, to be fair, you did deserve it after last week.
Oh, just stab.
Don't worry, we'll get Nurse Hatchet in, and she'll come and look after you.
What were we on about? Kingsman.
Kingsmen the Golden Circle, which sets Eggsy, Taron Egerton,
everywhere.
has to team up with the American counterparts, and we get the shocking revelation that Colin's Firth, Harry Hart, is alive. What do you make of this, guys?
I'm confused how he's survived, to be honest. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson did shoot him in the face.
But
Well, apparently he just shot him in the eye, because he's got the eye patch now.
What, and you're trying to tell me that the bullet stopped at the back of his eye?
I don't know.
It's a bullet shot from a gun. That would have gone all the way through.
If you don't see the body in the ground, even then, he's not dead.
Still, this is a very ludicrous universe where I think anything can really...
True.
But the one thing I know it's from the last one, but it always bugged me. Why didn't the lady with the legs blow up? When they blow up all
because she obviously didn't have a chip in her
She
ear.
did. They established that. They established, they enhanced...
Stop poking holes in my movie.
That's the only thing that wound me up about that thing. I know we got an awesome combat fight where she died a horrible death in about 5 minutes after that sequence, but just why? Why they didn't say? She could have just pulled it out or something, I don't know.
In terms of this one, I like the look of it. It just...
Who's the bad guy? I don't remember...
Julianne Moore.
Do you think there's going to be a similar kind of reverse logic bad guy?
I don't know. So from what I've heard, she was in love with Colin Firth. Who isn't dead. So maybe she's the one that managed to save his life, and she now just holds him his...
Oh no, they're not going to make him evil, are they?
No, I don't think they will, because he's in a cell.
He's going to have a laser eye, though.
It's going to be something bonkers and ridiculous.
I reckon they're going to might be slightly pastiche and Goldeneye.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Did you notice the Statesman? They've got like a whip, an electric whip.
Ooh.
It's like a lasso. It's just, I'm like that. You just know, also, Jeff Bridges is going...
Oh, yeah, I've got Jeff Bridges within it. That's what I'm excited for.
It's got Jeff Bridges. And
Bridges!
It's got Channing Tatum.
That I'm not so excited for. He's not Jeff Bridges.
Sorry, folks. For some reason, Jeff Bridges killed the microphone. So
he got a little excited, as did I, evidently.
Yeah. I love how the Americans are just old cowboys.
Yeah.
Like their version of it is they're cowboys.
Well, we are much more sophisticated, so I think it's only fitting. He says with blood pouring out of him. All right.
So what are they again?
They're called the Statesmen.
I suppose that makes sense.
I mean...
Kingsmen...
It's just going to be utterly bonkers.
Oh, yeah.
My worry is that it's going to be too bonkers. I mean, the first movie was bonkers enough. I like how we're using that word. The song featured quite heavily in the first film.
Yeah.
But... No, it did. My worry is that it could go a little bit too ludicrous and take me out of it a bit.
What is the American equivalent of Land of Hope and Glory? Because it's not the national anthem. You can't use the national anthem because that'd be cheating. But because there's going to be an Americanized sequence in there somewhere.
It's probably going to be something like God Bless America or something.
Yeah.
For all our American viewers, let us know down in the comments.
Because we're
like British.
Yeah.
Yes, tell us, how often do you use a whip?
Would it be...
This is a family show, Dan.
I'm talking about when they're rounding up cattle. And they all go to the saloon and shoot people.
I don't think they live like that anymore.
Don't they?
No.
Well, they could have fooled me with who they elected.
Politics.
Oh, I know. I did a politics joke. You proud of me, Sam?
Yeah, I'm very proud. I'm very proud.
So I think that's as much as we've got on that one. This is the topic that Dan has been looking forward to all morning.
I made him put this in.
So on just for a bit of background, I sent out the show notes. Then an hour later, Dan messages me saying, "Why haven't you put Transformers in the show notes?"
Whoa.
Sorry.
He's a big Michael Bay fan.
Whoa! Do you realise how insulting that is?
I see. I would believe you, except you didn't. You have a "I Heart Michael Bay" T-shirt on right now.
Well, who doesn't? I mean,
you could say that Michael Bay is the alien creature of the Hollywood world.
Nice segue. Because we've got another prologue for Alien Covenant.
Yes, the crossing,
which sees David be brought back together thanks to Elizabeth as they head to the engineers' planet to learn more about their creators. Dan.
Yes.
I hear you are a resident Alien fan on the panel. What do you make of it?
Oh, well, Alien is one of my favourite movies ever. It is my favourite franchise of all time. I'm very excited for this. It has got me up very hyped because this is the first time we've seen Elizabeth since Prometheus. This is the first sort of inkling of what we've got of knowledge, any kind of knowledge we've got as to what happens to them. Because at the end of Prometheus, you see them flying off to go see the engineers' homeworld, but you never find out what happened to them. And this is sort of what looks like to be the crossing between the two, essentially, the bit that connects the two movies, Alien Covenant and this film. It's also very exciting to me. It got me very hyped because I have no idea what's going on, and I have no idea what's going to happen, and that excites me a lot because Ridley Scott is a great director and he's a very good visual director. And in this, we've seen screenshots of what we now learn is the engineer's homeworld before this actual trailer, but this is the first time we've seen it actually in motion and on film. But they're clearly being greeted by something, but they hasn't shown us what is greeting them. So is it the engineers? Is it all just automated like a few of the things were before in Prometheus? We don't know. And of course, in Alien Covenant, they go to a completely desolate planet, which leads me to believe that maybe the aliens got loose on the planet that Covenant takes place on, and that is why there's no life on there at all, because the Xenomorphs just destroyed everything, because they do.
From reading the Empire article, it had a kind of... I saw some footage of pictures of a white alien thing. What's that?
Well, there's a few different forms of Xenomorph. The whole point of a Xenomorph is the fact that it can
adapt.
It does. It adapts to the creature that it grows inside of. They're very interesting creatures. If you go to... I'm sorry, I'm nerding out a little bit here.
It's about time.
But if you go to Alien Cubed, or Alien Free as it's more commonly known, the alien in that one is much more of a four-legged creature because it grows inside of a cow. So it's much more of a little beast. Like in Alien and Aliens, it's like a two-legged creature that is up on its hind legs and it's coming at us. It's very human-like, but in Alien Cubed, it's on all fours, running around, scattering around on the floor.
That's cool. Producing milk.
Yes, it has giant udders as well. It's fantastic. But that's what Xenomorphs do. So whatever they're inside of, I don't know what the picture was in the article, but whatever they're inside of, they adapt to.
Do you think that might?
Yeah, they take on properties of what's inside.
Could the aliens go inside of robots?
No, because they need an organic. They need to grow inside something organic.
What happened if that robot had organic matter in?
Well, then yes, technically.
Then it'd be robot alien.
Well, I don't think it'd be robot alien. It'd just sort of take on properties of the... never mind.
Can you imagine if it got inside a squirrel?
Yes,
that
then
would
you
be
would
like
have...
the most annoyingly...
Then you'd have a little Xenomorph that just ran around and ate your nuts.
I liked it. It was interesting.
There is one more thing I want to talk about with it.
Yeah.
Because it was something I noticed while rewatching it again. You have, at the very end, because we don't know what happens to Elizabeth in Alien Covenant, but she's not in Alien Covenant. She's not in the events of the actual movie anyway, but David is. So it's sort of a mystery as to what happened to her character, but we get sort of a glimpse of it, or we got a little bit of a glimpse of what I'm starting to think has happened in the right at the end of the movie, or right at the end of the little prologue, rather. You have David standing there with their I don't know, a door opens up like a trap door in the ground. It spirals open, and the camera pans up. And when the camera pans up, it shows just at the top of the screen lots and lots of they're jiggling around, and they're all the cylinders filled with the black goo. And I don't know if you've seen Prometheus, but the black goo in Prometheus is what creates the aliens.
Okay,
it's what sort of. It was the engineer's weapon. It was their bioweapon that became this animal.
So here's a question for you, Dan.
Yeah.
Do you think this prologue will make it into the actual film? Do you think this is how the film opens, and will then get a little bit more as the thing goes on? It'll flashback.
No.
To see what happens.
No, I don't think that this is going to be in the actual movie. I think this is part of... I think this is a prologue that's been released separately. I think in the actual film, David will tell us what happened and what he did, because I think David's up to something. That's what I mean with the cylinders. It looks like he's about to drop them on the engineer's homeworld. And if he does that, that would just be destruction and devastation all around.
Okay.
And that's what I've got a feeling David might do. And... so I don't think this is going to make it into the actual movie, but I feel like David is going to explain the events of what happened in the film, but I don't think this prologue will.
I'm looking forward to it.
So am I, can you tell?
This has got me intrigued. We're probably going to do another review episode.
Yeah.
In which Dan's just going to be jumping around in an alien suit for the entire episode, saying, "Oh my god, it was amazing."
Pretty much, yeah. And I will go and kiss the hand of Ridley Scott. Yeah.
So I think that's all we have time for today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So be sure to keep your eyes glued onto what we have here going on the channel. If you haven't already, watch our Star Wars special, because it's my turn to nerd out and be geeky and be very, very happy.
And I get a Star Wars education, essentially. So.
Yeah. So that's a goodbye from me, and a goodbye from Sam and Dan.
Yeah.
Dan's just powering down now. If you like what we've got with what we do here, give us a like and a subscribe, and have fun.
You like to give me some effects challenges, don't you?
Yeah.
Just throwing random things. I have to find. What are you? Are you a Mac or are you a PC? Or...
Oh, I'm definitely a PC.
A PC.
Yeah, he says with two Macs in front of him.
So I'll try and find the Windows 95 sound effect. Just. Yeah. And then just the blue screen of death noise for the end.
Yeah. Dude.